So please give her a big round of applause.
Hi everyone, how are you? First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to Mala and for having me here. Uh,
We're so glad to have you. So let's just start by getting to know you first. Tell us about what inspired you to start Zafree. Zafree Papers is the name of the company. So what inspired you to start it, and tell us how it works.
okay, well, as you can see from the name, it's Zafree, and for people who are not Ethiopian, I see some faces. Zaf means tree, so Zaf and free combined together, Zafree. So that's how we brought the name. Uh, when I started the business, it was not exactly 100% tree-free paper. What I wanted to do was paper recycling, and paper recycling is an awesome project as well. But when you recycle the paper, the quality is not really good. So you have to mix a virgin pulp, which is like virgin pulp means it's a direct raw material to make the paper. It comes from the wood, so you have to add the virgin pulp to the West pulp to have at least a better paper. So I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to make a very quality paper without cutting trees. And as I searched, that's how I came up with the idea of making paper from Agro West. And I just simply started working. Yeah.
Tell us about the overall process.
Okay. The overall process, well, as I said, it was more of the recycling thing. So as soon as I got this idea, Blue Moon, if you know Blue Moon is an incubation center that is based in Ethiopia. They had an application for people who had an idea that is related to agriculture. So I applied with this idea. I passed all the challenges, and I joined. So I got incubated at Blue Moon, and now actually we have an investor working with us. Our business model is perfect, and before I joined Blue Moon with this project, I managed to secure land in Debre Bran, which is like 120 kilometers away from Addis. So now we have a working space. We have a land, not exactly the factory, but we have a land to build a factory. So we have an investor, and also another potential investor who's going to join us. We're doing a due diligence with them. So
That is pretty amazing. You guys are going fast, and it was much needed. So I'm very glad. And a lot of people can take some lessons from this, some tips for them, because you went through an incubation program. And so how many of you here are aware of the incubation programs that are out there? They're really helpful, I bet. So you can talk to Betty after the interview on how you can secure some incubation programs for yourself. So let's move on to the next question. By the way, I'm going to open the floor to questions from the audience in a bit. This session is pretty short, so think of some questions you can ask Betty. But from my end, I want to ask what some of the challenges were when you were setting up this business and how you were able to get through them.
okay, first, I'm the kind of person that enjoys a challenge, actually. Yeah. Of course, there's a lot of challenge, especially when you're a girl and a young person, and you don't have money to start. So it's a very big challenge. I've been, especially last year, I have went through a lot of challenges. Well, still there's a bigger challenge always coming. Let me start from getting the land, because that was the most challenging part. Getting the land, I got the land as an investor to invest on that land with this project. So as you can see me, I'm just, a very tiny girl. And I had to dress up like an investor. I had to look the part. I have to be the part. I had to convince the government that this project will work on that land and this project will actually make an impact in the region. So that was the most challenging part. I used to go to Debre Bran almost every week. It was a very big challenge, but finally they believed in my project and they gave us 5,000 meter square land. And also actually if we show a very good progress, they're also willing to add additional 5,000 meter square, which is very awesome for us. That was very challenging. But whenever you go to any place, there's a challenge. Government office, to get a finance, everywhere there's a challenge. Except what you have to do is whenever you want to do something, you have to think of the worst case scenario. If you know the worst case scenario and if you have a solution for the worst case scenario, that is going to happen. It might not happen, but if you have a solution for that, then you're mentally ready for anything. So wherever you go, you're a winner. So that was the mentality I had. That's the mentality I have now, and that's gonna keep going. That's gonna keep going for the rest of my life. But yeah, there's a lot of challenge. Even just being a woman is a challenge, and trying to do a business when you don't have enough money and enough experience. So yeah, there's a lot of challenge.
I would have never guessed that one of the challenges would be looking the part, because you got it. No doubt. But I'm sure there are a lot of hurdles that you had to pass, and I like the point that you made, just imagining the worst case scenario, and if you're able to get through that, then anything in between won't scare you. All right, so last question from my part, so get your questions ready. What does the future look like for Zafree Papers?
Okay, well, the future for Zafree. Okay, so right now, as I told you, we have a strategic partner, an investor, working with us. We have Blue Moon working with us. We have two more additional potential investors working with us, and there's this German company that's working with us. So with them, we're trying to take the company Pan-African. So Zafree is not going to be just in Ethiopia. It's not going to be based in Ethiopia, but it's also going to be duplicated in every African country. I'm hoping our next project will be after Ethiopia. After our pilot project is set in Ethiopia, the next project will be in Zambia, because I was in Zambia before 2 or 3 months ago for a forum, and on that forum, well, the funny thing I didn't get the chance to pitch. I was just attending the forum, but what I did was there was this panel discussion about going green and who's going to finance the small and medium enterprises. So all the people that was on the panel stage, all of them were the CEOs of a funding company or an investor, or they were potential people that can help for my project. So if I talk to them on the networking part, I might not talk to everyone. So what I did was, when they finished, there was an open discussion for the audience. I was the first one to raise my hand. I raised my hand, and then I said, let me ask a question, and then I pitched. Immediately after that pitch, the moderator was telling me to stop, but I just kept going on. I didn't listen to her. So I pitched, I talked about Blue Moon, I talked about my land, I talked about the project, and I talked about the challenge, about the finance. And as soon as I finished, the question was closed because I took all the time. So they had to only reply to my questions. But they all of them, they replied to my questions. And then immediately after the panel was over, everyone came to me, literally. Wow. I felt like a celebrity. So everyone just came running to me. The CEOs, they gave me their card, and everybody was like so interested. They want to work with me. The Zambian Ministry of Trade responsible person, he came to me and said he wants to duplicate, he wants to have Zafree in Zambia. And then as I was talking to him, this another guy who owned a very big chunk of land in Zambia, he came to me and then he told me that he owns a 21-hectare land. Imagine how much that is. It's a very big land. So he owns a 21-hectare land, and also he have the source of raw material that I need. So it was like a perfect thing for me. And then he told me he wants to work with me. So I was like, why not? And I mean, I want to duplicate my business in all over Africa, so why not? So now we're working with a Zambian team. Actually, we're just doing a research. We have, I guess I'm very lucky with land. So we have a land in Zambia and also the raw material resource. So we're actually doing a market research with the Zambian team, since I can't be in both places. And since the market research have to be done, because we have to know if the project is feasible or not. If it's not feasible, I mean, it's just a waste of time. So we have to check the feasibility. We're doing feasibility in Zambia. So the next project will be in Zambia, I'm hoping. And it will duplicate in many countries. Yeah.
That is pretty awesome.